we see what they like and they don't like about comics. And we hear, and when people tell me the things they like best, usually comes around when you first started reading. So we decided to have a little fun this summer. Okay, you want to put it up? This is a big comic called DC Retroactive. And guess what we're going to do here, guys? We're going to have fun for you guys who started reading in the 70s, for you guys who started reading in the 80s, and for you guys who started reading in the 90s. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Justice League will all have stories built with those storylines in mind.
This panel is brought to you by TFAW.com. Visit TFAW.com today and use the code WONDER at checkout to save $5 on your next purchase of $20 or more. TFAW.com.
Here, sir. I don't like to throw, sir. Other people can do that. All right. It's now 1 o'clock, and I'm going to bring to the stage Mr. Bob Wayne, our grand poobah of sales in DC, and he's going to begin introducing the DC Nation panel. Bob Wayne.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here, taking time out from looking for various things in that room across the hall to come to hear what we have to say. I have been asked by my colleague John Cunningham, in charge of marketing at DC Comics, so if you have any questions about anything about how we market stuff, please find John Cunningham later at the DC Comics booth. His extension for no. So without further ado, let's start off with the man who put the nation in DC Nation, Mr. Dan DiDio, the co-publisher of DC Comics.
First of all, I'd like to introduce a few better fun. Okay, you have to excuse me, guys. I have convention voice, and the only reason why I got convention voice now, this is the third convention in 3 weeks. We were in C2E2 2 weeks ago, MegaCon last week, but now we're finishing our 3-week tour right here in WonderCon. And thank you everybody for joining us. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get the party started. I want to get going on a couple of people. I want to introduce them, and let me get some folks up with us. Mr. Bob Wayne, you got to sit here. It's not a DC Nation panel without Bob Wayne. And Bob, okay, number one. Next up, I'd like to introduce our executive editor at DC Comics, man behind Brightest Day, Blackest Night, Mr. Eddie Berganza. All right, next up after him, writer on Green Hour, writer on Teen Titans, our very own JT Kroll. And the writer without the team, the Titans writer, Mr. Eric Wallace. All right, and we now would like to introduce somebody, I think this first time of the show. Okay, artist on All-Star Superman, We Three, and so many great books I can't mention, Mr. Frank Quedley. I got another one here, artist on The Flash, Mr. Francis Manapul. And here's the man who represents both age and beauty at DC Comics, creator of so many things I can't even begin to talk about, Mr. Len Wein. All right, let's get into it. It's funny, you know what, we've been talking a lot about what's going on in DC at this very moment because we can't talk about what happens after Flashpoint. So this is a really interesting DC Nation, guys, because we're all under a real cone of silence right now on what happens in the DC universe following Flashpoint. So we're going to keep everything focused as much as we can on what's happening right now, on things like Brightest Day. How many people, okay, first of all, how many people reading Brightest Day? Right in front of us, please, stand up and say, what are you liking about it? What's the part you like? Aquaman. Okay, who else? What else we like Brightest Day? Brightest Day? Where's the hands? Who else said Aquaman? Okay, so who's liking the Aquaman story right now? Okay, good. What do you like about it?
I like that it matters, that the characters have good interaction and there's tension, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Sweet. Okay, next. Okay, who's liking the Hawkman story? Hawkman fans? Yeah. Where are we? Right over there, sir. Stand up. Give me a Hawkman. Why do you like the Hawkman? Yes, you.
It's just awesome.
Excellent, I'm glad to hear that. Okay, Martian Manhunter fans, anybody? Martian Manhunter, where are we? Right there, are you Martian Manhunter? Come on, stand up. What do you got? Oh, I know. Right now, see, it's funny too because we were really confused and we were gonna blow everything today. We didn't realize the next issue of Brightest Day comes out next Wednesday, and we thought it came out this Wednesday, so we brought all stuff to show you, and we can't show you anything now. I know, it's a bummer, but thank you. But, I'll tell you honestly, who said that? What? Who yelled at me? Besides all of you. You, stand up, why are you yelling at me? I'm being nice.
Show it! Show it all!
Show it all! I love that! No, I'm not a co-publisher. The fact that you're all here and you're excited about it is all I'm really looking at right now. Also, moving right along, have you noticed the color green at all today?
What about Dead Man?
What? Hold it, oh sorry, wait, stand up and say that.
Dead Man!
Dead Man! How many people like the Dead Man thing? Help me out, because I'm a little confused. Is he still alive or is he dead right now?
Yes.
Good. I'm going to use that answer in my next panel. Thank you. Okay, and that's the fun part. But Brightest Day is leading to something very important with the DC universe. And what was that? Firestorm. Stand up. Come on, Firestorm fans. Tell us why you like Brightest Day. You're welcome. So Firestorm fans, we're doing good? Okay. And honestly, all kidding aside, this goes back to what DC Nation's all about. We've gone to so many panels and we've talked to so many people at these conventions. And the one thing we hear from everybody is how much they really enjoy, you know, Ronnie Reagan. And people liked, I know Jason as well, but the Ronnie Reagan fans were there. And we were really glad we were able to find a way to take both of them and still make a character that people want to read. So if you think that nobody's listening, the answer is that we are. Okay? And that's what these panels are about. I always say when we do a DC Nation panel, it's very simple. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you like, what you don't like, and what gets you excited about comics. So much about what's taking place in comics right now is because you folks have that level of enthusiasm, excitement, and enjoyment with our characters. And if we can't meet those expectations, then we're not in business. So that's why we like to hear from you, and more importantly, engage in fun conversations along the way. All right? The good part about this is that whatever we talk about here stays here, right? Isn't that the way it works? Right? You know the rules of DC Nation. What's said in DC Nation stays there. So the fact that we have radio crews and news crews and bloggers and reporters, I don't think anything's going to leak. Thanks for that. Did you get that all down? Good, I'm glad. Excellent. Okay, back to the color green. Anybody enjoying the color green at this moment? Okay, let's go to the comic stuff first. More of the Green Lanterns. What do you think that's about? No, I'm serious. What do you think it's about? Because I had people going, literally came to me and goes, what's War of the Green Lanterns about? And I said, well, the Green Lanterns. And I said, the Green Lanterns, they're at war. And they go, oh, cool. And they left.
And that person was me, so thank you, Dan.
So who's reading War of the Green Lanterns? Lawrence, right here. Sorry. Stand up. What do you like?
I like that we actually know who's controlled the parasites to bring on, where that's going to go from there, and how all the other ones decide how to actually have purpose in this whole core, not just how we.
Sweet. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. The best part about it is that what I love about Green Lantern is how the story's been building over the years. And this feels like something that just seems like an extension, excuse me, of everything that's come before. Okay, who else is liking War of the Green Lanterns? Right over there, sir, with that. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Sweet. Thank you for that. Okay, what else now? Let's go through it also. This is the first, okay, right over there, sir, Green Lantern shirt. Stand up. That's pretty much everybody, okay? Well, if it makes you feel better, I read the next issue, and Hal and Guy next scene is amazing with the two of them together. So it's a lot of fun stuff. Who else? Anybody else? On this side of the room. I haven't seen you all the way over there. Any questions? Hi guys. Have I been ignoring you and now you're not talking to me? Is that what it's about? Yes, okay. All right then, let's go through it all now. Okay, time to talk Wonder Woman. Okay. All right, Wonder Woman fans. Let's get it out of the way right from the start. Old costume fans? New costume fans? Why you stand up or why you booing? Tell us why you're booing. You gotta stand up, face the ground. You're just old school. Is that the reason why? Is it because we just, what's that? That's iconic. Agreed. Who else? Anybody else? New costume fans. Give me one. Right over there. No. Okay. New costume fans down there? Anybody? All right. Well, you know what? We're trying to find ways to make sure that we update the character. You know, it's funny too because we got into a big debate on the panel, and we had a lot of people say, pants or no pants, right? And every writer says they want to write Wonder Woman with no pants on. So, which I wasn't sure about how their writing style was, or whether they were talking about the character themselves. Sorry, Bob. My voice is fading fast. You know that, don't you?
Oh, thankfully.
He's my only friend. Anyway, what else then? Okay, so let's turn it back to you guys now. What are you liking? What aren't you liking right now in the DC verse? What's that? Oh, Generation Lost. Stand up. Tell me what you like about Generation Lost. Okay. You like the return of Maxwell Lord. Yeah, he's a guy that you know, it's a shame that Wonder Woman killed him, but we're really happy he's back. Any other Generation Lost fans? Right over there, sir. What? Rocket Red, really? Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Right over there, sir. Captain Adams. Captain Adams, good too. Did I ever tell you, we said this whole story for Generation Lost was when we started that book, it was something completely different. And then we turned it into something else, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it because it's really weird, but it started in one direction and completely turned into the book we're reading right now, and we're really happy with the reactions we're getting. Now, before I completely lose my voice, I want to talk about one thing. Who's the old school guy? Where's the old school guy? Who's the guy? Thank you. Say no. You like things old school? Okay, you know what, I used to do this in the past, and I want to get a read now. Everybody, by a show of hands, who's been reading comics for the last 5 years? 5 years, everybody, show of hands. Okay? Now keep it up until we lose it. All right? How many people were reading for 10 years? Okay, that's good. Good a little bit. Let's go next. How about 15 years? I don't know when that starts, but I'm counting on you guys. 20 years. Okay, now we're getting interesting. 25 years. Okay, 30 years. Okay. Okay, now we're getting good. 35 years. Okay. 40 years. Okay? Okay, everybody with a hand up at 40 years, stand up. Let's do it by standing up now. We're still going. Hey, keep it going, keep it going. 45 years. 45, how about? Okay? 50 years. All right. Let's make, okay. 51. 52. Oh, 52. Stand up. Let's go, guys. Let's give a round of applause for guys. We realize this, and it's fun because when we talk to people, we see what they like and they don't like about comics. And we hear, and when people tell me the things they like best, usually comes around when you first started reading. So we decided to have a little fun this summer. Okay, want to put it up? This is a big comic called DC Retroactive. And guess what we're going to do here, guys? We're going to have fun for you guys who started reading in the 70s, for you guys who started reading in the 80s, and for you guys who started reading in the 90s. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Justice League will all have stories built with those storylines in mind. Okay? Yeah? But let's have some more fun. For Superman in the 70s will be written by Marty Pasco. Superman in the 80s will be written by Mark Wolfman. Superman in the 90s will be written by Louis Simonson. Okay? Let's go down the road. Batman. Our very own Mr. Len Wein will be doing Batman in the 70s. Batman in the 80s will be Mike Barr. And Batman in the 90s will be Alan Grant. Okay? Wonder Woman in the 70s will be done by Denny O'Neil. We got Justice Wonder Woman going. Wonder Woman in the 80s will be William Messer-Loebs. Sorry, did backwards. Wonder Woman in the 80s will be done by Roy Thomas. And Wonder Woman in the 90s will be William Messer-Loebs, who did the Give it again. Trying to do this from memory, guys. Flash in the 70s will be Cary Bates. Flash in the 80s will be William Messer-Loebs. And Flash in the 90s will be Brian Augustine. And then we go to Green Lantern. Green Lantern in the 70s will be done by Denny O'Neil. Green Lantern in the 80s, Mr. Len Wein steps in again. And Green Lantern in the 90s will be Ron Mars. Okay? And then last but certainly not least, Justice League of America. 70s, Cary Bates. 80s, Jerry Conway. And 90s, Giffen DeMatteis. So, all you guys out there who seem to want to get one last, have some fun ride with those characters you remember, in the style you remember, we'll give you that chance again this summertime. So I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Brought to you by Tfal.com, the world's best online retailer of comics and collectibles. Whatever you're into, we've got just the thing for your collection.